We're always chasing the latest and greatest, right? We just assume that the new thing is always the better thing. But what if some of the best tech out there isn't new at all? What if it's just waiting for us to rediscover it?
So that's the big question for today. Is newer really always better? We're going to dig into that whole idea by looking at a piece of golf technology that's almost 2 decades old. And believe me, it holds a pretty surprising secret for the right kind of person.
Okay, so take a look here. On the left, that's the Titleist forged 755 iron from way back in 2006. Classic, clean, kind of compact. Then on the right, you've got a more modern club. It's usually bigger, you can see all the tech packed in there. Right away, you can just see the totally different approaches to design.
And that gets us to the big myth we're here to bust. The common wisdom, what everyone says, is that an iron made for a really good player back then would just be way too tough, totally outdated for an average golfer today. But is that actually true? Let's start by popping the hood on this thing, because the reason this club is still so relevant isn't just its cool classic look, it's the technology, which was pretty advanced for its time, that they managed to blend into that design. The real story of the 755 is all in how it mixes materials. This was not just some simple chunk of steel. Titleist was really trying to build something special here, something that gave you both top-notch performance and that premium experience.
Okay, the face material is what's really cool here. They used a beta titanium insert. Now, back in '06, this was a huge deal. It's thinner and stronger than steel, which lets the face flex a lot more when you hit the ball. And what does that mean? More ball speed. As the source material says, free ball speed is basically like finding gold. But the face was only half the equation. The actual body of the club is made from forged 410 stainless steel. Forging is a process that gives you a much softer, more consistent metal. And that is where that incredible feel comes from, the thing that really good players are always talking about. It's less about brute force and more about the quality of the information you get back through your hands. So when you put it all together, you've got this amazing package. The titanium face gives you that extra bit of pop for more distance. The forged body gives you that amazing feel. Someone described it as being like compressing a marshmallow on a perfect shot. And there's even this little aluminum chip in the back that cuts down on harsh vibrations, which is a lifesaver if you've got sore hands or elbows. And it's all in this beautiful, classic shape that just makes you feel confident. All right, now we need to talk about the club's biggest supposed weakness. It doesn't have that super forgiving technology we see today. But as we're about to see, for a certain player, this isn't a bug. It's actually its best feature. This chart breaks down the two philosophies perfectly. Modern game improvement clubs, they're all about forgiveness. Their job is to hide your mistakes. But the 755 comes from that better player world, where feedback is king. It doesn't hide anything, it tells you the absolute truth about where you hit the ball on the face. And this quote from the source just nails it. It keeps my swing honest. For someone who's trying to keep their swing sharp or even improve it, that honest feedback isn't a bad thing. It's a tool. It stops you from getting sloppy because you know instantly if you just made a good swing or a bad one. So what's the trade-off for less automatic, straight flying shots? You get more control. Golfers call it workability. Because these clubs aren't fighting to correct your swing, a skilled player can use them to curve the ball on purpose, hit it lower, hit it higher, whatever the shot calls for. You're the one flying the plane. You're not just along for the ride. Now, everything we've just talked about is awesome, but it's all kind of pointless if you don't understand this next part. This is the absolute key. There is a huge warning that comes with these clubs, and it's the secret to unlocking what they can really do. Seriously, if you take only one thing away from all of this, let it be this. The secret to making this old tech work today has very little to do with the club head itself. It's the engine. The original stock steel shafts that came with these clubs in 2006, that's the real problem for most of us today. Shaft technology has come so far, and if you pair this amazing club head with an old, heavy shaft that doesn't fit you, you are just setting yourself up for a bad time. And this table shows you exactly why. The old steel shafts were often super heavy. We're talking over 115 grams, and they were built to hit the ball low. That can be tiring to swing, and it can totally rob you of the height you need on your shots. Now compare that to a modern lightweight graphite shaft. It's easier to swing, it feels way smoother, and it's designed to help you launch the ball high. The difference is just night and day. So the solution is pretty simple. You have to match the right engine to this fantastic chassis. The absolute best case scenario, you find a used set that someone originally brought with graphite shafts.
If you can't find that, the game plan is to buy a cheap set just for the heads and then plan on putting new, modern shafts in them that actually fit your swing. That is how you unlock all those benefits we've been talking about. Okay, so we've looked at the classic tech, we've talked about the amazing feedback, and we've gone over the super important warning about the shafts. So, what's the final verdict? Is this 17-year-old club actually a hidden gem? Well, let's start with the price tag. A full set of these irons, you can usually find them on the used market for somewhere between $100 and $200. Now think about that. A new set of premium forged irons can easily cost over $1,500. The value here is just, it's impossible to ignore. So how do you know if this hidden gem is for you? Here's a quick checklist. Are you a pretty experienced golfer who hits the ball fairly consistently? Do you really value that pure feel and honest feedback more than maximum forgiveness? Are you on a budget or maybe just looking for a great backup set? And this is the big one, are you willing to deal with the shaft issue? If you can say yes to all of that, then the answer is absolutely. And this right here just shows you the lasting quality. I mean, look at that. Because they were made with such good materials, you can clean these clubs up and they look almost brand new. It's just proof of a timeless design that was actually built to last, not to be thrown away in a couple of years. This whole thing proves that sometimes the best answer isn't about buying the newest, shiniest object. It's about finding the right object. And that kind of leaves us with a bigger question, doesn't it? Beyond just golf, what other old tech is still out there, just waiting to be discovered as a hidden gem that offers incredible performance and value if you just know where and how to look?